What's going on, everyone? It's Bars, and welcome back to another match action. Manchester United and Arsenal draw 0-0 today. There's another 0-0 draw with another top six side. Just same old sort of story. But what can you do? What can you do? So I guess it's better than losing, but it's a bit of a boring result for both teams. Obviously, Arsenal trying to go for stay in touch with the top four, and Manchester United obviously trying to keep in touch with Man City, but I think they're just starting to pull a bit away now. But before we get into the actual match reaction, make sure you leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the content on the channel, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. All support's much appreciated. It's free to just click subscribe, and it helps me out a bunch, so that's very much appreciated. But yeah, so let's get into the analysis of the game. I think we started well. I think we started very bright. I think our passing was very, very good. Actually, is that turning that down a bit? That's a bit better. Not as much of that. Yeah, I think we started bright. Our passing was crisp. We were hitting our target. We were consistently keeping possession of the ball, which is good. We weren't giving it away cheaply, and just weren't able to capitalise on the first 20 minutes. I don't think we dominated it, but I think we're the better team certainly in the first 20 minutes or so. Arsenal grew into the game. I think they defended really, really well throughout the majority of the game. Then in the second half, Arsenal have scored the most goals between the 45th and 60th minute in the Premier League this season. And you can see why they came out from half-time. They really came out of the blocks quite quickly. We made a couple of good blocks. Remember, there was one good block from Wan-Bissaka with Willian at the back post. It was nice, but again, him tucking in. I don't like him when he tucks in. And then it was Maguire with a Pepe shot. And I think the Pepe shot was probably going to be going into the back of the net if Maguire didn't block that. So it was a brilliant block by the captain. Put that centrally. And yeah, we had a couple of good chances. Well, Cavani, 2 chances, put some wide. I think I don't know if one of them was deflected. We got a corner out of it, but I don't know if it's fake. I thought it was just a miss from him. I didn't think it was a corner, but I thought he should have put it away. And then there was another chance near the end. I think if the second chance when he missed it, when it just went wide, we sort of did like a half overhead sort of sideways kick, sideways shot. Sorry, I think if he left it, Marcel was in a great position to probably tuck it away, but Cavani wasn't going to leave that, and you can't really blame him. He's a striker. He's right there. He's got a chance, but you would have liked to see him put that away, which is a bit unfortunate. But and yeah, and then it was a bit of a back and forth game for the last half an hour or so. Obviously, as I said, Cavani had a couple of chances, and Arsenal had a couple of chances as well. I remember Pepe had a chance that went just wide when he sort of just tucked it around Maguire. But yeah, all in all, you probably say points deserved for both teams. I think both teams played I think both teams didn't do enough to get the win, which is disappointing for me in just United point of view, because I was hoping that we would have actually tried to create a few more chances and actually try and get the win. But it is what it is. So not much you can do about it now. But as I said, I think Arsenal were 10 points behind us for this game. That if they won the game, they would have obviously crept closer towards those top 4 spots. If we'd won the game, we would have obviously kept in touch with Man City. I think Man City can now potentially go 6 points ahead if they win that game in hand. They've got, I think, either that or we've played the same many games. I'm not sure, but I think it's somewhere in. I thought it was 3 points that we're behind, I think. But I don't know if we've played an extra game or not. I'm actually going to have a look at that, because I'd actually be really interested to know how close we are. So if I look here, if I go to the table, we are, so we're 3 points behind. We've played one less game. One more game. Pardon me. Which is obviously disappointing. We had a good position. We were up by a few points, but yeah, I think most Manchester United fans knew that we were in the title race, but we probably didn't think we were going to win the league. Like we were sort of good while we've been there, but I think we always knew that Man City were going to come, and I think Liverpool were going to come at some stage as well, and make that even a bit tougher for us to even get second. But we'll see what happens with that, but you never know. As Robbie from AFTV said on the United stand yesterday, he said that you never know. It can turn like that. You can have a couple of results, you have a couple of wins, teams above you can have a few losses, and all of a sudden you're back in. It's a really weird season, but yeah, I think you'd expect Man City at this point to probably run away with it and probably end up getting it. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, so as I said, just a frustrating game. And again, Ollie leaving his subs late again. Obviously, McTominay went off in the first half. I give credit to him for trying to push through and trying to keep going, but you could see that he was struggling. He was after every pass, he was sort of bending over and he was really struggling. I think he would just had a stomach bug or whatever. If he had a stomach bug, then it probably begs the question: why did he even start the game and play the game? Because if you got a stomach bug and you got to play, you're not going to play 100%. That's for sure. I've definitely played some Aussie rules in Australia with the stomach bug, and you can't play at a high level, and that's for sure. You just feel like you can't go give it 100%. But yeah, as I said, I credit his desire to keep going on. But I did like the fact that Solskjaer brought on Martial instead of a Matic or whatever, and he went a bit more attack. He put Pogba where he should have done, and I think if he played Martial instead of McTominay at the start, I think there would have been actually a very, very good lineup, and I would have really enjoyed seeing that lineup. But yeah, just disappointed we couldn't get the result, even with playing over about an hour with that starting 11 that I would have liked to have seen. But yeah, and as I said, just Greenwood giving him 10 minutes. It's very, very hard for a player to come and impact for 10 minutes. You're not really going to make a huge impact. Well, obviously, some players can, but more often not, majority of players can't quite get a foothold in the game in 10 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes to half an hour is a good time to bring someone on. We're all calling for, well, I was calling for Donny to come on about the 70th minute. I think this game would have been great for him to come on. Just a quick 1-2 passing, move the ball, not being so static. And we didn't bring him on. And I think that this season's a bit of a write-off for Donny in a way. I just don't think that Solskjaer really wants to give him too much of a look in, which is unfortunate because I think every game he's played in, I think he's played well. But yeah, then he brought Greenwood on. And you could see as well that our team was starting to get a little bit sluggish, a little bit tired towards the end of the game. And it's like, I was thinking to myself, like, if their starting 11's getting tired and you can see us starting to slow down, why are we not using subs early? Why are we not using all 3 subs? We only used 2 subs again today. We very rarely use 3 subs, which is a little bit annoying because we do play a game every 3 days. So it would have been nice to have seen someone like a Donny, or even bring an Axel on, or well, not Axel because I didn't really want it to go defensive, but I would have liked to seen Axel come because of obviously the stuff he's been dealing with throughout the week. But like bring someone else. Like Donny was the one I would have brought on, and I would have brought him on with 20 minutes ago, and I would have brought Greenwood on because I think Rashford he was terrible today. I think everything he did just turned to shit. Really, I don't think he played very well at all. And I like Marcus, but he's not playing well at the moment. He had a terrible game against Sheffield United, which sorry I didn't do a review on that. I fell asleep because obviously it is hard for me to stay awake. Just by the way, as well, because it's like 6:45 that game started. And I'm up at like 8:39, and I know people just like you should go to bed before the game, but I can't because I won't be 100% reviewing the game. So there you go. But apologies for that. But anyway, yeah, I don't think Marcus had a great game. It was good to see Marcel get some minutes because I think that was his worst game I've ever seen him play. I think it was one of the worst games I've ever seen a Manchester United player play against Sheffield United. But he came in. I think he wasn't terrible today. I think he had some good moments. I didn't remember him really doing anything bad, like any bad passes or bad shots or whatever, and he did everything good. So I think that was probably the one thing I wanted to see from Tony today. Bruno couldn't really get a foothold in the game. Again, this is one of those games that he does struggle in a little bit because the better opposition know to lock Bruno down, and sometimes Bruno can release those shackles and play well, but then sometimes he struggles to get those shackles off. But I don't think he's terrible, but I just don't think he had the same sort of impact. I think Pogba played really well when he went central. I think he controlled. He was good in midfield. I think he not controlled the game, but controlled our midfield and was good in there. I think Fred was decent. I think his Tasney again was on show. I think gave the ball away a couple of times, which was a bit nerve-wracking when Arsenal had a chance. So, but you get that with Fred. That happens with Fred every game. So you can't really do too much about that. I think Luke Shaw was again brilliant today. I think he played a very, very good game. He'll definitely feature in the man of the match conversation. That's for sure. I think Maguire had a good game today as well. I think Lindelof did his job, which is what do you generally say about Maguire and Lindelof? Excuse me. If the two centre backs, if they have a decent game, it's always usually Maguire having a good game and Lindelof doing his job. That's generally what happens, and I think that's exactly what happened today. I think Wan-Bissaka played well, but again, tucking in again behind Lindelof, I don't like it because it leaves so much space on that on that left flank for the opposition to get in there, or the right flank, whatever you want to look at it. Left flank for the attacking team, right flank for the defending team. And yeah, Day didn't have a huge amount to do. I think when he was called upon, I think he made one good save from a Smith Rowe shot. But besides that, I don't think he was really tested. I don't think Leno was really tested too much either. I think that Cavani's obviously 2 shots were wide. I don't think we really had another decent enough chance that was on target that where Rowe had to save it. And as I said, I think our front line were a bit quiet. As I said, Cavani was wasted with his 2 chances. Rashford had a poor game, and obviously Martial came on. I think he did all right. It wasn't obviously amazing, but you couldn't imagine Martial coming into the starting 11 and having an amazing game after playing so terrible. It was just important to get some minutes in and just get through the game and not do anything really too bad. So, but yeah, and yeah, so there you go. But we're getting the player ratings now anyway. So if you're watching live, make sure you leave your player ratings in the live chat over to the side of the screen. Or if you're watching on playback, make sure you leave your player ratings in the comments. Also, just leave it if you want to leave a question, comment, thoughts on the game, whatever. Just leave in the comments below or live chat if you're watching live, and I'll get to them when I can. And also, don't forget to leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the video as well, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free to do. It takes 2 seconds, and it really helps me out. So appreciate all the support on the channel. But let's get into player ratings. So for David De Gea, probably have to give him a 6 because you can't give him a 7. I know he kept the clean sheet, but he didn't really have too much to do because I think the 2 Pepe chances he had, one the first half, one the second half. They both went wide, so he didn't really have to do much. There's obviously lacks that chance. He didn't actually talk about to hit the bar. It was a brilliant free kick. Probably in a way you could say it deserved to go in. But then you could say one of Cavani's chances probably should have gone in. So you could say 1-1. But not too much to do. His distribution is always very, very good. But yeah, usually if you play at your 7, you make a few more saves. But 6 is fine. You don't want your goalkeeper getting 8s, 9s because it means that we've had a lot of shots and having to defend a lot, which is not bad. That's saying like you'd expect like a Pope, for example, when he played against Liverpool, he made 17 saves. You'd probably give him like a 9 or an 8 or whatever there. But David I didn't really have too much to do, so he gets a 6 from me. Wan-Bissaka, I think give him a 7. I think he was very good defensively today. I don't really remember too many situations where I think I remember one situation where he did sort of half get skipped past a bit when he went to ground in the first half. Besides that, he was solid defensively, and I think it did help that Arsenal were sort of sitting back a bit. Meant our defence didn't have to deal with so much, whereas obviously playing Liverpool or Man City, where they're always on the front foot, obviously we're defending a bit more. But yeah, as I said, I just don't like the tucking in from Wan-Bissaka. I know that he probably thinks, well, Maguire and Lindelof aren't quick enough. I've got to tuck in so the balls don't get through the back. But then if they just put a ball over to Wan-Bissaka's side, then they could be in through that direction. So we saw it against Leipzig. Excuse me. It happened 2 times when Angelina scored those couple of goals, but and that's what happens when Wan-Bissaka tucks in. But yeah, I don't like it. But I think overall he had a decent game today. I think he played above average, so that's why I give him a 7-6. So I was the average. I think Lindelof. He had some good clearances from in the game, clearing the ball. I think you'd probably give him a 6 because I don't think he had a huge amount to do. I think Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Shaw are a lot busier than Lindelof. I think Lindelof did his job. I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was didn't do anything extraordinary. Literally just did his job. That's probably the best way to sum Lindelof up today. If I can finally get it out. As I said, some good clearances, some good blocks here and there, and good tackles and stuff. But yeah, not anything like amazing to give him like a 7 or anything like that. And the captain, Harry Maguire, I think give him a 7. I think he played well today. I think that block he made with that Pepe shot was brilliant. I think it was very, very good. I think it saved a goal. I think that shot from Pepe would have gone into the bottom left corner. I don't think De Gea would have got there. And I'm very certain it was going in. So that certainly could have saved us a couple points. think his aerial presence today was very good. The amount of I remember so many headed clearances when balls came in from Arsenal. Didn't really get beaten, I don't think, from memory. And he had a very good performance. And I think people are going to probably mark Maguire down today. I don't think people are going to say Maguire had a good game, but I think he did. I think that he did what he had to do. Dealt with everything in the air like he always does. Obviously, the one knock on him is when the crosses come in. He just didn't get a strong header on it. But I think today he did really well, and I'll give him a 7. So Luke Shaw, very, very good today again. I remember one chance where Pepe probably got the better of him, and I think Luke Shaw fouled him. But then again, Luke Shaw sort of didn't get skinned, but Pepe does always cause Luke Shaw a lot of troubles. I don't know why that is. Mo Salah is a left footer as well, and Luke Shaw always puts Mo Salah in his pocket every time he plays Liverpool. So there's probably something about Pepe, maybe just the way that he dribbles, the way with his step overs and that probably gives Luke Shaw a little bit of trouble. But I think he played very well. I think I'll give my man the match as well. I think he was very good. I'll give him an 8 as well. I think he was brilliant. You could give him a 7 and just say he was the best of the guys that you give 7. I don't think anyone would get, and anyone else in the side would get an 8 or above. But I think there was one run in the second half, I remember, where he had the ball and he was pinned in with a couple of players, and he sort of, well, not pinned in, but they were closing in on him and the gap was closing. But then he sprinted and turned the gas on, and he just sprinted down the left flank and just kept going and nearly created a good chance. He put a number of good crosses in. I will give him an 8, actually. I will stick with an 8. He put a lot of good crosses in. I think he should have had a couple of assists today. He really should have. I think he played very well attackingly, and you can just see he's slowly getting back to that Luke Shaw before he broke his leg. Because before he broke his leg for Southampton especially, and even at the start when he played for Man United, he was a very, very good attacking left back. And he was good defensively, but he was still learning his craft defensively. But he was always very, very good going forward. Obviously, the leg injury happened. He's always been very, very good defensive. I've always talked about on the channel here. I've always said how good and how much I rate Luke Shaw defensively. But you can see that he's bombing forward a lot more. He's not being as tentative. He's overlapping. He's getting those crosses in, and they're not just crosses like Wan-Bissaka sort of sometimes hits, where they're just sort of hit and hope. He's getting him in there, and he's putting him in very dangerous positions for guys like Cavani and Martial and Rashford and Bruno and that to get on the end of it. And as I said, he could have had a couple of assists today. Should have had at least one. I think Cavani should have finished off that chance. I don't know if it was blocked. I have to watch it back again, but. Yeah, just very, very good today from Luke Shaw, and he always plays really well. He rarely has a bad game, and that's what you want to see from all of your 11. If we had 11 Luke Shaws out there, we'd be doing all right. But obviously, we want a striker version of Luke Shaw. But yeah, there you go. But I know, just me rattling on there. I love Luke Shaw, and he gets an 8 and a man of the match. Fred, I think. Fred was good today. Got round. I think he gave the ball away a couple of times again, just defensive. As I said before, we get this with Fred. He does this more often than not. Would I give him a 7? Probably not. I think I'd probably stick with a 6. I think he did enough. He did enough. And he did his literally. I think it's very much similar to Lindelof. I think he did his job. When he gave the ball away, they weren't terrible. There was one that I was a bit nervous about, but we had cover there. So you'll probably say, well, we shouldn't have given away in that position. It's a poor ball, but we didn't get punished for it. So, but he did his job, I think. And I think him and Pogba worked. Again, Ollie's probably going to go back to McTominay and Fred when McTominay is. I think he's fine. I think he's fine. It looked like he just really had. I think he just had to go to the dunny, the toilet, I reckon. He just had to go and just let it out. That's all I'm going to say. Let it out because, I think it could have been that. It could have been something more serious. I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't at the ground. Obviously, I'm a long way away from there. But so hopefully he's okay. I think it was just a stomach thing. And I think he just, had to do the business. and yeah, so I don't even know how I got it. I can't even remember. I've literally gone on a tangent, and I just can't even remember how I got there. Anyway, yeah. So Fred 6. Pogba, I think, played very well. I think he'd probably be the second. I think he was probably second best to Shaw, and I think Maguire was probably third. I think Pogba gets a 7 as well. He's close. He's probably closer to a 7.5 and nudging on an 8. So I think he played very well. I think he was the best of our midfielders. I think he's the best midfielder, I think, in the game. And yeah, he's playing at a high level at the moment. And as I said previously, if that's to get a move somewhere else, great, because it's helping us win games previously. But obviously we drew today, so it wasn't great. But he's helping us play better. And if he wants to sustain he's playing well, then that's great as well. So it's a benefit. It's a plus for either way. And I think he's playing, as I say, playing very well. His passing is looking crisp. He's hitting the target every time. He's not doing any of these. Remember a few years ago when he sort of first came back to United, and a few years after, he'd try and do his little skill moves in the defensive half, and he'd lose the ball, and then you'd have the other team bombing forward and getting a shot or an attack going, attack or a shot going. And you'd be like, Pogba, man, what are you doing? He's not doing that anymore, which is good. He's taking more care of the ball. I can't actually remember when he played a ball that was a terrible pass and it went straight to the opposition. I remember a couple of balls where he sort of just missed his target here and there, but I don't remember him actually like burning the ball and actually turning over badly. So, as I said, takes care of the ball very well, and I think he had a good game, so I'd give him a 7. Bruno 6. I don't think he played terrible. I think he when he had the ball, he did create a couple of half chances here and there. He always does. But the thing that sort of not aggravates me, but is a bit annoying from some Man United fans is they say that unless the way they look at it is unless Bruno gets a goal or assist, he played terrible. No, he's terrible. But it's like more often than not, he'll get the assist, or he'll be the one creating the attack going forward. Today wasn't obviously his best game, but I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was amazing. I think he did it. He was an average. I think he's an average 6. Would I give him a 5? Probably not. I don't think he was that bad, as I said, but I think 6 is fair. I think again a little bit not at fault of Bruno as well, because he just didn't. We weren't able to get him on the ball as much as probably what we wanted to, but he again wasn't terrible. He still had the ball, and he still had a couple of half chance here and there. And there was a free kick that went just. Was it free? No, it was a chance that he got through on goal, and he cut inside, and it went just above the bar, and it was very, very close. So he could create moments, and that's what we've lacked for a while. We've lacked a player like that can create those special moments. I know Rashford's done it, Martial's done it, other players have done it, but Bruno does it on a consistent basis. So 6 for me, not his best game, but he still had some things here and there which were quite good. Marcus Rashford, a 4. Watching him today was so frustrating. Everything he did was just wrong. His passes weren't hitting the targets. They were just, and the thing is, it's not like when Pogba passes and it sort of just misses target by a fraction. He passed the ball, but he gives it straight back to Arsenal. But he doesn't give it straight back to him. He gives it to him, and they're already bombing forward. He gives it to him perfect. It's like he passes to them. It's just he's not playing well at the moment. And there was a chance where he could have fed Bruno about a half second early. He didn't. He left it too long, and then that chance went. I think that was in the first 15, 20 minutes. There's another chance where he probably should have gone on and had the shot, but he didn't, and he passed it off when he really shouldn't have. There's also the other chance. I remember with Luke Shaw crossed it in, and Luke Shaw crossed in, and so Luke Shaw should have 2 assists. So I just remembered this chance. Crossed in and Rashford the back post. He had all the time in the world, and I was just sitting there holding my breath. And I was like, get a shot off. And he didn't. And I was like, oh, come on, man, you've got to get the shot off quicker. And he could have hit it with his left foot, could have hit with his right foot. Yeah, he should have done better with that chance. But then again, you could also say that maybe he's covered on that side, so maybe it's not bad thing. But I think he probably should have shot there. He just didn't have a good game, did he? Just not great at all. He gets a 4, and it was good to see Ollie bring him off. Because we always say that Ollie always has his favourites. He leaves Scott McTominay on, he leaves Marcus Rashford on all game. But But it was good to see, well, not good to see, obviously, McTominay come off because that was obviously through illness. So hopefully he's okay. But oh, sorry, really hard here not to yawn. But now I've lost my train of thought. But no, so it was good to see him bring Rashford off because I don't think he was having a good game. And that was a smart decision, but it should have been done 10, 15 minutes earlier than what it was. So there you go. But yeah, and then we move on to Cavani. You probably give him probably 6. I think he played. I think he played well enough, but and had some good chances. Ran around a lot. Was pressing a lot as well. But he probably should have done better with those 2 chances. And yeah, just not at his clinical best today. It's probably the best you can say about Cavani. And as I said, I don't think he played. I think he played decent enough, but he wasn't quite as clinical as what he has been in the past. Like against Southampton, he was very clinical when he came on, and he just wasn't at that clinical best today. That's probably what you can say about Cavani. And then you go on to I will say McTominay because he started. McTominay gets 6. I don't think he could have really. I think he was playing all right when he was playing, but he was just really trying to push through it. And I think he had a tablet about the 25th minute, I want to say, and then about the 35th minute, he's like, no, I can't go on. I think Martial came on about the 36th minute or so. So as I said, credit to him trying to push through, but he had to come off. He looked terrible. He went down and obviously laid down, and you could see he wasn't in a good way. So, but yeah, 6. I don't think he played decent enough. I think he played quite well when he was on. But yeah, so and then we go to subs. Martial. I think Martial gets a 6. I don't think he was. People are going to say he got a 4. Terrible. No, didn't do anything. But I don't think he really wasted too many chances. He gave the ball away a couple of times. Created a couple of half chances for himself and for the other guys. But yeah, he's just going through a bit of a bad slump at the moment. I hope that he starts picking it up again and he doesn't leave United. But yeah, certainly after that last game against Sheffield United, you're probably wondering, is Martial done at Man United? But hopefully he's not, and hopefully he can kick on, because today wasn't terrible. I don't think he could have played any worse than he did against Sheffield United. Hopefully he can sort of build on the sort of the uptick. So it's obviously gone down to Sheffield United, and it's going to go hopefully back up. So he's sort of gone here, he's here. Hopefully he can keep going back up and performing like he did last year when he was our player of the year. So Greenwood 6, only had 10 minutes really to work with. Didn't have a great deal, so you can't really fault him too much. I saw he made one good pass about a couple minutes after he came on, but didn't really have a keep of the ball. But yeah, you need more than 10 minutes to work with. That's for sure. That's why I always felt sorry for Memphis when he was at United. I think that he always got only 10 minutes, 5 minutes at the end of the game to do well, and then people said he was a bad signing and he never played well. But I think that was probably more down to him not getting a long enough time. He obviously didn't play well for us when he was here, but I think a factor of that was due to him only playing 10 minutes. But anyway, that's another topic. But and I think Greenwood probably suffered from bits of that sale. You only get guys like Chicharito and like Ollie every so often where come on for like 2 minutes, but they can still score a goal or even a brace and win you a game or bring you back. But you don't get many of those players. So and Greenwood's not one of them, I don't think. So I think he can make an impact, but he's not that guy that can make an impact after 2 minutes. But so Ollie, what would you give Ollie as a player rating? Obviously, as I said, Luke Shaw is my man of the match, but what could you give Ollie? I didn't like the fact that Pogba again was on a wing because he's out of position. And what's that saying when he's one of the best midfielders in the world and he's getting pushed out of position for McTominay and Fred? And more specifically McTominay, because I think Fred's the better of the two in terms of defensive capabilities anyway. He made a good attacking sub with Martial for McTominay when he come off. He could have brought Matic on. He could have brought a more defensive sub on, but he didn't. He went more attacking, which was good. He made the subs again too late. He only made 2 of them as well. He should have made, I would probably said 2 subs with 20 minutes to go, not 10 minutes to go, but he only made up 1, as I said. I would have liked to see us push a bit more. only getting the 1 point. I don't think you probably have to give him. It's probably like a 5.5. Do you want to give him a 5? I don't think he was below average. Because I think our first 20 minutes were good. I think we came out with a good intent. But did he do enough to really push himself over to that 6? I think a lot of people are going to give him a low score. Probably people are going to give him like a 3 or 4. I think it's purely just out of frustration because of the amount of 0-0 draws we've had with these with the top 6 sides. 0-0 against Liverpool, 0-0 against Man City, 0-0 against Chelsea, 0-0 against Arsenal now. So, but I think I'll give him a 6. Yeah, I think I'm torn. Yeah, it's probably a 6. It's probably a 6. Yeah, but yeah, it's tough. It's really hard, actually. Probably people think just pick a number, but it's tough. It's tough. You probably actually you probably give him a 5 because you would have wanted to win. We probably didn't create enough. There's probably more negatives than positives. I think, as I said, made subs too late. But yeah, 6 or 5. Geez, it's a tough one. I'll probably give him a. I'll probably give him a 6. I'll probably stick with a 6. Average. I think it was just average. Because it's a draw. So, but then again, we've seen him get wins where it's go 5. Go 5. It's a draw. You would have hoped for better. We need to stay up there with Man City. It's not a terrible result, but I don't think you can really. Oh, no, 6. 6. I'll stick with 6 because I gave all the players 6. So just why not just stick with 6? Essentially, all the players got 6 anyway. So give him a 6, an average 6. But and it could be a 5, 6 or a 5. Take your pick, one of the two. I'll say 5.5 or something. But yeah, we'll move on from that anyway. It was too long on that. But yeah, I'll stick with the 6. But yeah, could give him something like that. But yeah, so we go again. I believe is it Everton we've got next at home. I know we've got Everton next in one of our next couple of games. Could be West Ham. I'm not actually can't remember. I remember looking at it before, and I remember them saying who we were playing next, but I can't remember who we were playing. Southampton, sorry, at home, and then we play Everton, and then we play West Ham in the cup, and then we play West Brom away. So yeah, so if we are still in the title race, you'd hope that we can what's what I was going to say? You'd hope that we can win those games, but we'll see what happens. So there you go. So game with Arjan says hi mate, how you doing? Obviously got Arsenal logo there, so you're probably just a little bit frustrated as well that you probably didn't get over the line and get the win. So I think you guys had a couple of decent chances as well to get a result. I think we had a couple of chances as well. So a bit of a frustrating result for both of us, but hey, there's no banter towards Arsenal fans from United fans. There's no banter towards us from Arsenal fans. So people get to keep their phones on and not get bantered and having to turn their phones off. Yeah. So, yeah, just typical. That's what you get with United with top 6 at the moment. It just seems to be 0-0 draws. But yeah, so there you go. But anyway, that is going to be the end review. As I said, Luke Shaw man of the match with an 8. And again, just another good performance. And I think he fully deserves it. He's playing very well at the moment. Certainly, probably the informed left back in the league, if not the world. So, and people are probably going to come at me for that. But as I said, Luke Shaw is so good defensively. So there you go. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like. If you enjoy the content and you enjoy the video, whatever you want, just press like. Takes a couple of seconds. Also, another thing takes a couple of seconds. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Takes a couple of seconds. All support is very much appreciated. And yeah, and we go again, and we got to beat Southampton, and we got to beat Everton. 2 games we need to get the wins, and they're going to be tough matches at home where we do struggle. Again, we do stay unbeaten as well away from home. That's another thing as well. So another game where we're unbeaten away from home, which is good in a way. So there's a positive you can take away from it. But it would have been good to have got a win there. But yeah, there you go. So anyway, that's it. All social media links also be in the description below. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review. I'm out. Cheers.